Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 1036, directed by Yusuke Suzuki and supervised by Shigefumi Shingaki. After the past few weeks of outsourcing and recap and such, it's nice to see that Suzuki looks to be continuing his upward improvement in quality with what seems to be another great episode from him, filling the preview with some very nice compositions from his board and a nice cherry on top in form of the few really nice cuts that they've shown us. While Shingaki's art is definitely not my favorite on the series, will episode 1036 be another win for Suzuki? Let's hit the live floor and find out. This episode covers the first 13 pages of chapter 1015, and man, for an episode that clearly is more of a regular one, they really managed to make this moment of the arc feel insanely impactful. Mostly thanks to the slower pacing that allows a lot of these big spread moments to land by giving them proper time to really set up the stage for them all, so they can stand on their own and make the intended impact in the viewing audience that they were supposed to. Because as we all know, Oda's spreads lately are insanely busy, and carry so much dialogue and information within them that they can be a lot harder to adapt than most people think. And I feel like this is the best way to go about it, even if it does just make the episode feel slower in order for each scene to have its intended effect. And that's only helped further by the added filler scenes that add some meat to the small Keen and Momo flashback scene in the original chapter, that really dives deeper into their bond as a whole and the type of love and trust that they have in each other, that actually uses flashbacks to past anime episodes from years ago correctly. Now sure, for manga readers like myself, it might feel a bit too laser focused on that aspect, because as I said last time, Kinemon doesn't end up biting it, but for the point that we're at in the story, I feel like it works well since Momo thinks that he is, and it adds to his overall character development as a result of that. Add some fantastic and fitting music choices on top of that from Suzuki and co, and you've got yourself a really damn solid execution of this content overall. While Suzuki lifts manga panels outright a fair bit more than most other directors, he really does have a whole grab bag and a half of ideas that really make his episodes pop in a fairly laid back way that isn't quite like Nakashima's more minimalist approach, but allows for some really cool visuals for stuff that can be just as simple as the characters talking, like with Luffy, Law, and Kid being in front of a police lineup as one of the gifters tells the Alliance that they were strong but not enough to take down Kaido. And I'd be remiss to not mention the awesome red lighting in Kinemon scene that really helps set the tone along with everything else that it carries, that is helped even more by the grayer colors that swamp the scene once Kaido stabs Kinemon and we're led to believe that he actually killed him. Coupled together with some nice as hell angles that I wasn't even sure that he was capable of, and you get one super strong board that you can tell Suzuki put a whole hell of a lot of effort into, despite not going all in with some of the stuff that might have been possible. When even the animation feels as similarly ambitious as his board does, with Imi's fantastic and snappy scene with Sanji vs. Queen that lays in the impact hard thanks to said snappy timing and delicious effects work and impact frames. And 1036 is a really solid episode overall that helps continue Suzuki's upward trend as a director like expected. Next week we'll surely be getting a fairly conservative episode with 1037 that in both directorial and animation staff is a bit middling, with Masahiro Hosoda on the former and Deguchi and Saito heading up the latter. But for the content that it holds and what's to come after, it's definitely suitable, so I guess we'll see if they can produce something fairly solid in spite of all that. Anyways guys, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and holy shit,